Hello, welcome back. I'm Simon. This is Forever Young RC. Today we're going to do something a little different. If you've been watching the channel any at all, you know I've been trying to put as many scale accessories out on my course as I can. What I wanted to dive into is trying to find some buildings that are durable enough to hold up out there. There are the wooden ones online that's cut out by laser that you can buy. I looked at those and thought, how can I waterproof those or weatherproof those? Because I am here in Florida and there's a lot of bad weather. I got on Etsy the other day and looked up a store called New Creations. A gentleman named Alan owns it, and I bought a product from him, and it's a small, like a little shanty type shack that's made to be out in the swamp or so forth. But I figured I could take that and I could use it on my builds out here. But I have to make sure, for one thing, I need to be able to waterproof it. So I'm going to let you guys in on what I did, how I waterproofed it. I did do a couple of things extra in the kit to make it a little more durable, because like I said, it will be out in the weather. The gentleman's name is Alan, and he is at New Creations. He was very helpful with any problems you have, easy to get a hold of, or any questions you might ask. What I want to do first is just kind of go over some of the basic tools that you're going to need that's going to make your life easier doing this. A necessary one is definitely a hobby knife, X-Acto saw blade that I use to help cut some angles and stuff. Clamps help really well. 3-2-1 blocks help really well. They coordinate awesome with the 90-degree angle that I do have built right here. And I have this built to do some of my styrene project. This is a magnetic sheet laminated down to the top of this. It's really easy to make and doesn't take much time and helps out a lot if you're into the model making. Also, that other necessity that you will have to have is some super glue. You can use different types of glue, but I work a lot with CA glue or super glue. So the super glue and the accelerator, I find that a must. It's all came together really well. Now, as far as painting it, I wasn't sure if I needed to paint it first and then put the Gorilla water sealer on there. And what I use for the water sealant is the Gorilla brand weather and water sealer. It puts just a little thicker coat on there than something like Thompson's water seal. And this is pretty much all coated right now. It's done except for the roof. And the reason I haven't put the roof on it yet is because I want to get it painted first and then put the roof on. I'll get to that in just a second. I really wanted to paint it before I put on the Gorilla water seal, because I want to, you want to make this look old, and I wanted to put a wash on there. But I didn't want to spray the sealer on there and have it look really glossy. So this is my first time ever building one of these. I just went ahead, sprayed it all over the pieces before I assembled it some, sprayed it again to get in the corners and stuff. So I've got about 3 coats on this. I figured I'd go ahead and try it this way, spraying the sealer on it first, and then I'm going to try to paint it later. Like I said, my first time doing one of these. It really came out well. Directions were really good. I did a couple of things different. First, on the base of it, on the bottom, since it's going to be sitting on the ground, I just had some square styrene bar that I lined the bottom with, and it made it a little extra sturdy, because I do plan on sticking a couple of little flat golf weights in here to weight it down so the wind doesn't blow it away. And the other thing that I did that's not in the directions is the way this is made, the roof goes on here. There's not really any trusses in between, because you don't need them. Nobody's going to be touching it. It's just going to be in the house. But outside in the weather, I needed a little more support. So I went ahead and put a couple of other trusses. I made use of they're basically forming boards that he includes in the kit to form the roof. It isn't necessarily made to go up here. I just cut out a styrene bar here and anchored it to the top, and then glued those down. So I've got a little more support up here. And this thing's really sturdy. Even the windows, and it looks highly realistic. For the final thing I'm gonna do, get the paint, and I'm gonna paint this, and I'm gonna try my hand at doing weathered wood on this. Hopefully it turns out pretty well. I think it will. So when I get this thing painted up, I'll come back, put the roof on it, give it a final look, see what you think. If you guys enjoy the channel, please don't forget, like, subscribe, comment, and share with a friend. Helps the channel out a lot, and I appreciate it. In the comments, let me know if you're into any type of modeling or model building. It's my RC channel, but making these or building these to put on my RC course. So I figured I'd just incorporate this into one of my videos. Hope you guys like it. If you don't, I'll be back with regular RC car videos in the next one. But I'm gonna get this roof put on and get this thing painted, see what it looks like. After I sprayed the house with the Gorilla Water Seal, I mixed up a gray and dark brown wash to cover the entire house. 1 part colors, 3 part alcohol, and 3 part water. Before I lined the boards with this dark brown paint, I went over all the lines in the board with a small, skinny Sharpie, and then painted all the lines on the boards. Then I used a Q-tip to drag it out to give it some depth. All right, I'm finished. Like I said, this was my first kit to ever put together, and I did the best looking rust job I can on it. The windows, everything on, everything's covered. And what turned out pretty cool, I think, with the wash that I did put on there, is it gives this kind of cracking effect like it would on some very old painted wood. It gave me that effect, which I had no idea that it would do, but I know that's because of the weather sealer going on first. So that was something very cool that turned out that I didn't know that was going to happen. But I had a really good time doing this, and if you guys enjoyed this video, I'm going to put another video up here that shows how I made some of the other stuff on my course, like the mountains and some bridges and stuff like that, if you'd like to go watch that. Thank you guys.